Okay, hi. So this video is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I actually brought a blackboard, so I'm going to be somewhat coordinated, a little bit more coherent this time. So let me know if you don't like that in the comments, but let's get started. Alright, this one's going to be a little shorter, but basically you need to take it slow and you need to take it steady, because if you're not taking it steady, if you're not taking it slow, then you're gonna hurt yourself and put yourself into misery and overthink it. So basically there's this 1% rule, right? And what is the 1% rule? It's that every single day, as long as you're moving, you can improve 1%. As long as you're improving 1%, then in 100 days, you won't improve 1%, because you can't improve 1% every day. That's kind of a lot, but you'll have improved at least 50% in something, and you'll be better in something. So, like, on day 1, if you just get 1% better, then you're already doing really good. On day 2, you just keep going, just keep getting a little better. And on day 100, you'll have gone in like 60 or 70% better. Why 60 or 70% though? Because by the time that you get to that point, what's going to happen is that you're going to have a lot of time in between where you just fall and you just don't make progress for one day. But that in itself can be progress, and you just need to learn how to make that progress, and that's by learning from it and by analyzing it. Because at the end of the day, when you fail, when you fall for a second, as long as you get back up, that is progress in and of itself, right? Like, there's two kind of trajectories that can be taken. You either, there's the guy who, like, it just keeps going up, right? And he doesn't exist, because everybody starts falling. Everybody has an up point and a down point and an up point and a down point. I don't know who made this myth up that there's some special genius out there who just, like, starts something and then fucking flies to the top of it, just like easy peasy, bro. That doesn't exist. There's gonna be times when someone loses. There's the hero's journey, right? I made a video on the hero's journey, and check that out. I don't know if I uploaded it. I'll upload it anyways and put it up here. But yeah, check that out. And it's your hero's journey. You have that down point where everything just goes downhill and everything stops working for a little while. And that's okay. That happens. And so it's much more realistic to expect yourself to be like this, right? You go up, you have some good times, right? And you go down, something's not working too well, you just failed, maybe you just, the motivation's kind of lacking sometimes, right? And that's alright. You just have to keep going anyways. And, you just fall and you come up and you fall again and you come up again, right? And that's how it is. That's how everything is. You can't always expect yourself to be at level 100, right? And you just need to be patient and keep going. And there's this myth, right, where we see all of these motivational reels, we see all of these people winning, and we see, like, social media and such a lot of the time telling us that, you gotta, like, shoot 100% all the time. And yeah, you gotta strive for that, but you build up to that, right? You can't expect that of yourself right away, and you can't expect the whole trajectory to getting to that point to be instant, right? Why is that? Because, think of yourself how you are right now. A lot of you watching me, they're a little bit more advanced, but you are probably still doom scrolling. You're probably still wasting hours a day on these social media platforms. You're probably still, like, a little bit lost. You don't have, like, a good idea of what you want to do. And that's alright. That's okay. And you gotta understand that that's okay, because everybody needs to start somewhere. And you're gonna get there eventually. You're gonna get a top spot. But the real skill isn't the skill of being amazing. It's a skill to keep going, right? Why is that? I'll give you an example, a case study for me. Kind of how I've experienced this over the past 2 months, because I make these videos also for myself. 2 months ago, at the start of this year, for the entirety of December, for the last 3 days of December, every single day, I had done more work. I think in those last 3 days of December, I did more work than in pretty much the entirety of November and most of early December. And throughout January, I went down. Like, first 2-3 days of January, I did no fucking work whatsoever. Alright? But what happened? Time passed by, and slowly I started doing more and more work. And I just told myself, okay, let's be humble for a minute, right? And let's think, what is it that I need to get to? What is it? Where is it that I want to go? What's that goal? Okay, it's up here. How do I break it down for myself and literally make it so easy that I can't fail at it, right? And so I literally set a benchmark to work 30 minutes on day one. Just 30 minutes. And this was at the beginning of January. And day one, I worked 30 minutes. I did 30 minutes. And then I did a bit more. And I kept going. And I just did a little bit more. Because I felt like it. I was now in momentum. Video on that, click here. Up here. And now that we had this momentum going, it was a lot easier to do just a little bit more work. But that was it. You know, at some point I was like, shit, right? I got into a procrastination state and I went back down. And that's okay. That happens, right? That's fine. So, the next day, I said, okay, I'll just do 30 more minutes, right? And mind you, one thing, during these 2 days, instead, my routine was entirely off. It was horrible. I had no fucking routine. So, a friend of mine helped me out, and we thought about 2 habits that I can initiate and just focus on having those 2 habits down and 1 work task. Just every single day, just do those 2 habits and 1 work task. Those 2 habits were the easiest ones possible. It was to journal, which was something I'd already done for a while, but I had stopped, right? And to walk every day. I'm not a big runner, but I walk, and I can walk, and on that walk, I was going to use that walk and meditate slightly. And so I had these 2 habits, and what I did was, day 1, I just went for a walk. And I journaled, and I did 30 minutes. And that was it, right? And I didn't expect myself to, like, all of a sudden just do 19 hours of work. And, you know, fucking make like $1 million on day 1, baby. Like a millionaire. No, I didn't expect that, right? And so day 2, I just said, alright, just gonna walk, and just gonna journal, and do 30 more minutes. And that's exactly what I did. I did 30 minutes of work every day for the next week. And the walking and the journaling, I missed some days, you know. And I had to realize that was going to happen. That was just going to happen. You know, you miss days. You miss days. And you can't expect yourself not to miss days. But at the same time, just realize that when you miss a day, it's a lot easier for you to miss the next day. And so throughout the January, I just kept trying to walk every day, journal every day, and just do 30 minutes and a little bit more of work every day. And so here's a really interesting thing, right? As January progressed, every single day, I was able to do just a little bit more work, just a tiny bit more work. And so, even if every other day I would go down, one thing that started being really consistent was doing 1 hour to 2 hours of work. Now, there was one specific rule here. I had to just pretty much cut out all of the bullcrap in my life, right? And I focused a lot before this, kind of the foundation was cutting out a lot of bullcrap. However, I was spending like 3-4 hours a day on social media still. I was spending a ton of time on social media. So, January went by and I was doing like 1 to 2 hours a day of work, you know. I was walking. Most days, I did miss a lot of days of walking and journaling, but I was doing stuff most days, right? So, what was the big nemesis, right? I was ramping up with the hours of work slowly, but I realized my day didn't have any time left. And so, I refocused on getting rid of the thing that was taking up a lot of time, the bad habit in my life. And I took a whole week, to specifically focus just on doing like 1 or 2 hours a day of work, and just not doing this habit, right? And just avoiding this habit as much as possible. I didn't delete my account, but I basically changed my password on my account. I didn't have access to it at all, right? And I just didn't touch it for that week. And so I instead just spent time doing nothing. And you have to sometimes just sit there and do nothing if it's better than doing something bad, right? So time passed, and yeah, I just started slowly doing that thing less, and a week had passed, and through that week I realized the time that I could work slowly went up. And so I had compounded, and in a month's time I went from only being able to do like 30 minutes a day of work and like, you know, walking and journaling, but very, very inefficiently, to at the end of that month, I had walking pretty much down, and I had the work down every day. And so I was doing at least an hour work every day. And I have consistently done at least 1 to 2 hours of work every single day throughout January and up until now, right? It's just this compounding. And slowly, every single day, I'm able to do just a little bit more. And I'm pushed just a little bit more naturally by having faith in things to just do a little bit more work. And that's exactly how it's going to be for you. You know, the more that you do it, the more that you'll get that push, and the more that it's going to be easier to do. You'll develop this habit. It's really good. Something cool about being human is that since you're human, your body wants to see you win. It might not feel like it, but it's what you accustom it to, what you condition it to, right? If you have your body conditioned to losing and to doing the things that hurt you, then it's going to keep doing those things because it thinks that that's what you want to do. That's what you pointed it towards. We can't tell our body, like, oh, focus on this, but we can guide it to focusing on something. And when it gets hooked on something, when it gets consistently into something, it will almost make sure on your behalf that every single day it just does a little bit, right? And dude, I'm gonna be honest, like a week ago, I was down for like 3 days. I was not doing well for those 3 days, right? And I was skipping on the walking, I was skipping on the journaling, I didn't do any of that basically, and my main priority was just being patient with myself and just trying to do what I could and just getting out of bed and cleaning stuff up and, you know, keeping things consistent and just trying to keep something going, right? And just, you need something. When you're down, when you're at the bottom there, you just need something, and you just need to keep doing that something. And for me, that was just trying to do like 30 minutes to an hour of work every single day and just try and latch onto something. And if you can't even do something, then don't do the bad things. Just avoid the bad things if you can. Just keep it out of your mind if you can. Right. And yeah, it's just being patient with yourself. And really, those are the 3 things that you need. You just need patience in yourself. You just need faith that it's going to work out. And you just need to not get distracted, right? It's easy to see a million different routines that you can take on, a million different like morning routines, but really the only thing that actually matters, the only thing that's going to work for you is what you can keep doing every day. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. You know, comment there, and if you like this, yeah, drop a comment and let me know what you liked about it. And if you're in the tribe, let me know, talk to me here. Shout out to Senkotos. You've been posting these comments on every single video. I appreciate you. And if you're not in the tribe, you can join that from the link below. We're at 600 right now. 625 if I'm not wrong, or a little bit more, might be higher. So I'm proud of you guys. Thank you. Mwah! Take it slow, take it easy, and just keep it up. Never stop. All right? Mwah!